What is up, guys? My name is Chris and this is another video review with HomeZone 5, and today we're taking a look at the Volos gaming mouse by Thermaltake. So they sent this to me around about a month ago. I've unfortunately not had a ton of time to sit down and use it properly until this past few days and the past week or so, but I have been using it on and off and I've been having a good experience with it. I am happy with the mouse that is sitting in front of me right now. This is designed mainly for MMORPG players. It's described as a professional gaming mouse. Main feature that would be something towards MMO players and everything to do with that would be the macro keys you've got on here. I will show you those a little bit closer and I guess talk about them in a bit more detail in just a moment. And oh, the lights have just decided to turn on. Well then, let's talk about the lights, shall we, while this is just sitting there real quick. I've actually plugged the USB in just to briefly show you guys that, but as you can see, you got lights all across the top of the mouse here, the little pulsing Thermaltake logo down the back there. When you're using the GUI or the user interface for customizing your mouse, color is one option you can change. So you can change the color of your scroll wheel, your left click button, your profile changer, as well as the pulsing light at the very back there. So alongside that, there is a lot more customization that's available, and we'll get into that a little bit more in just a moment. I'm going to pull that USB cable towards me now so I can show you the nice little USB cover that comes with it as well, and we'll talk about the cable and all that, just the fact that it is good quality as well. So braided cable, a little Velcro strap there too for if you're taking this to any LAN parties or anything, keeps it nice and tidy, and a little USB cover that's there, so if you are somebody that does go to LANs or plays competition, or if you're a professional gamer or like going to friends' places to play, it's going to keep all your hardware nice and protected, which is just a nice little feature. Thermaltake, as always, throw in a nice little bag in there too, which I like, so you can keep all your hardware well protected. We'll talk about the physical aspects of the mouse now and what you see right in front of you, apart from the obvious stuff with the left-right scroll wheel and your DPI changes, which are kind of standard on gaming mice nowadays. You do still have some other buttons on the side. So your profile switcher there, you get 10 different profiles on this mouse that you can change. You can actually carry these profiles with you, so this has a 4 megabyte built-in memory on it, so if you set up all these profiles, this will save them for you, so you don't have to, I guess, copy your profiles and save them to a USB. For on-the-go gaming, I guess, like if you're playing competitions or anything, that makes things a lot more convenient for you. It's one less thing you have to worry about, and it just makes things very easy to set up. Those 10 profiles are changed by this button, as I said, so I'll talk about that again in more detail when we get to the, I guess, the user interface for customizing your mouse. On the side here, as you can see, there's 4 extra macro keys here in color. They're the triangle, circle, X, and square buttons, so they've used the PlayStation buttons just on the side there. These are all macro keys that are changeable in the customization menu, and these two ones here are turned on by default, which is just like a forward and back button on a mouse. So if you're in like web browsing or if you're just using music and iTunes, you can go forward and back with these, but can also be set as macro keys within the customization menu too. If we flip to the other side of the mouse, you do have 3 more macro keys, which are conveniently placed kind of near where your I guess where these 2 fingers sit. But if you're using the mouse now, you do have easy access to them when you're sitting there. So my pinky and my ring finger kind of sit on the D and the E keys, but you just have to reach back with the pinky to press the C button, which isn't a problem. If you know what you're looking for, it makes it very easy to actually press that button. These are all customizable between those 10 profiles, and if you don't want to use any of these macro keys, on the underside of the mouse there is a nice little switch here, which lets you lock and unlock these buttons, I guess. So when you've got the lock turned on, all of these macro keys will be shut off, and you've got I guess you've got a simple gaming mouse in front of you with just got everything that you would need apart from the actual macro keys. Nice and easy. Personally, since I don't play MMOs that much, and none of the games that I play really require macro keys, I have them turned off by default. But for anybody who does play MMOs and has a go of this mouse, let me know what you think, and if you use the macro keys and you found it convenient, would like to hear some feedback. I'd love to see that down in the comments. One other feature that I didn't mention just before when I flipped the mouse upside down is this is a weighted mouse. So this is incredibly heavy just out of the box for a mouse. And just underneath here, if I can pop this out properly, you do get some weights to change the weight of your mouse. So there's 2 on the top there, I guess, and 5 on the bottom. So you get 7 different 4.5 gram weights that come inside of the mouse. Now these are fully removable, and if you want to actually take this out of the mouse completely, it is still a very heavy mouse. Now I say that comparing it to things like the Rocat Savu mouse, which I've used, and the Razer Death out of V2. Both of those are pretty light mice, and comparing it to this, there is a lot packed into it. It feels very heavy in the hand, and I kind of like that myself now. After using a weighted mouse compared to the Razer, which shoots across the mouse pad really easily, I kind of like the weight. I make less mistakes. I guess like any slight, it's a lot harder to make slight movements with the mouse, which I kind of like. If I over slide or like over move the mouse at all, the extra weight kind of makes me. Don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but I make less mistakes with a heavy mouse because it's harder to move. That's probably the best way to say it. Probably sounded really stupid just then, but it makes sense in my head. So if I didn't explain that too well, then I'm really sorry. Looking at the GUI, we'll just make a nice little transition over to the computer just here, and you'll see on the main screen, these are all the different customization options you've got there. So you've got your 10 different profiles that you can change. These are all able to be renamed as well. So when you're on your computer, you can set up what game they're for. Unfortunately, when you use your profile switcher with the button there, on screen you will get a P1 and through to P10 it'll give you numbers for every profile, but that doesn't actually change to a name. So you need to remember, I guess the best way to remember what profile it is you could even color code your buttons to remember what profile or what profile you've set it to. As you change that, all the customization goes through your macro keys as well as the colors. So personally, I've just got the one profile set up with my color. That's the only thing that I'm customizing, and macro keys I'm not going to use until I maybe move on to something to do with MMORPGs or anything that will require that. Really, really good mouse. Pricing and more information, if there's anything that I've missed, is all down in the description below. You can check that out on Thermaltake's website. I'm really happy with the mouse so far, and I'm probably going to keep using this for a long time because using it and going back to the Razer Death Adder is a little bit strange. It kind of feels weird in the hand using a mouse that's so light compared to this. And it does fill out my hand. I've got a very broad palm on my hand. It's kind of large and my fingers are short, but this fits really snugly. So very happy with the design of the mouse, and it does fit really well. Nice dry matte finish on the outside here, and the rubberized grip just on the side kind of makes it easier too. So if you've, for any reason, thrown the mouse across from one side of the pad to the other, it grips in your hand very well. So you're not going to throw it to the person that's sitting across from you or anything. Hope you liked the review, and as always, comment, rate, subscribe, do all the cool stuff, and feel free to check out everything Homes in 5, as well as Thermaltake's Volos mouse page down in the description below. Until the next review, this has been another video with Homes in 5. Bye-bye!